Welcome to Home with Justin. Imagine stepping through a gate into a small, sun-dappled yard where the air smells faintly of lavender and fresh-cut grass. And for a few slow moments, the world shrinks to birdsong and the soft creak of a porch swing. In the next pages, you'll discover simple, affordable cottage farmhouse ideas that transform any outdoor space into a warm, lived-in retreat. Ideas that give you a calmer morning, an easier weekend, and a backyard that feels like an extension of your home. The path to that feeling begins with the ground beneath your feet. Lay a simple gravel walkway edged with time-worn bricks or salvaged stones so each step makes a pleasing crunch. And let creeping time push up between the pavers so your footsteps release a hint of lemony scent. Imagine stepping along that path toward a focal point. A rusted wheelbarrow planted with spilling geraniums and rosemary. Its faded paint and stubborn patina telling a small story of seasons past while the plant's fragrance rewards the effort. Turning a view into an experience and a moment into a memory. From that path, your eye naturally lifts to the edges of the yard where fencing sets the scene. Picture a white picket fence that's been whitewashed rather than perfectly painted, where the grain of the wood peeks through and small knots add character. Or a short split-rail fence woven with willow paneling that lets light and shadow play through. These borders provide gentle definition without hard lines. And when you tuck coneflowers, salvia, and catmint at the base, the fence ceases to be merely functional and becomes a living frame for the garden beyond. Each season shifts the backdrop. In spring, soft pastel blossoms nod. In midsummer, tall blooms hum with pollinators. In autumn, the fence looks like an old friend wrapped in golden light. The benefit is both aesthetic and practical. Structure that supports planting, privacy that encourages lingering, and a backdrop that ages into its charm. As you wander, seating invites you to stay. Envision a long farmhouse table set beneath a pergola, its wood sanded smooth but left with knots and scratches that carry stories. Surround it with mix and match chairs, some painted a faded blue, others bare wood, perhaps an old schoolhouse bench at one side. And drape a natural linen runner down the middle. The textures of the textiles and the irregularity of the furniture say, without words, that this is a place for unhurried gatherings. A bench tucked against a trellis, its slats softened by weather and time, becomes a quiet nook when roses climb and perfume the air. Cushions and muted plaids and hand-stitched quilts offer low-cost comforts that encourage conversation and long, lazy dinners. Here, comfort translates into a deeper benefit. Meals are no longer rushed chores but social rituals that anchor family rhythms and create small, repeatable joys. Think of the garden as both a kitchen supply and a stage for life. Raised beds of reclaimed barnwood hold road lettuces, heirloom tomatoes, and trailing herbs, neat enough for easy harvest, loose enough to feel informal. Interplant marigolds and nasturtiums among the vegetables, not only for color but to naturally deter pests and invite pollinators. A modest potting bench beneath a slatted lean-to offers a place to tuck seedlings, store pots, and keep gardening gloves within reach. The tactile pleasure of planting a seed, of folding soil through your fingers, becomes an antidote to screens and schedules. The benefit is tangible. Fresh herbs at arm's reach for dinner, vegetables that taste like sunlight, and a steady, small-scale rhythm of care that steadies the mind. Vintage accents tie the design together in ways both nostalgic and practical. An old galvanized milk pail filled with lupins or dried wheat becomes a sculptural touch on a porch, while an enamel pitcher can hold a loose bouquet of poppies and daisies. Repurpose weathered window frames as picture frames on an exterior wall, their flaking paint and faint glass shadows adding depth and history. Galvanized tubs make perfect containers for annuals and small shrubs, their utilitarian finish looking equally at home with delicate florals. These pieces are not about ostentation, they are about storytelling, each dent and patina a note in a larger conversation, and their usefulness is obvious. Holding flowers, organizing tools, or serving as impromptu tables at a summer supper. Softscape choices should echo the cottage palette. Faded creams, muted blues, milk white, soft sage, and warm wood tones. Plantings that vary in texture. Feathery ornamental grasses, mounded catmint, the lace of cow parsley, the globe-shaped heads of hydrangea, create depth without fuss. Ground covers like creeping thyme and chamomile are practical and sensory, cushioning bare feet between stepping stones and releasing scent with each step. Plan bulbs for spring speckled daffodils and tulips. Choose roses that rebloom for summer fragrance, and tuck in aster or sedum for late-season color. The effect is a layered, continuous tableau where months fold into one another, and the garden reads like a long, comforting sentence rather than a list of isolated features. Water features can be simple and evocative rather than ornate. A repurposed stone trough with a small recirculating pump sends a soft, steady murmur across the yard, creating an auditory veil that calms and cools. Alternatively, an old washtub fountain with water spilling gently into a basin, surrounded by hostas and ferns, offers a place for birds to bathe and for you to listen. The presence of water adds movement and reflection, drawing wildlife and inviting a slow gaze. The practical reward is less tangible but profound. A daily invitation to pause, to watch ripples, and to notice small changes in light and life. Functional decor is a hallmark of cottage farmhouse charm. The beautiful and the useful are the same thing. Mount a pegboard on the side of a shed and hang trowels, pruners, and garden twine in neat rows. Function becomes display. A ladder propped against a fence supports potted herbs, or a string of weatherproof lights. Build storage benches that double as seating. Lift the lid to access cushions, seed packets, and tools. Rain barrels made from reclaimed barrels collect water for thirsty beds, while stacked wooden crates hold harvested squash or potatoes with rustic charm. These practical choices economize space, reduce clutter, and make everyday tasks easier. Small efficiencies that compound into more time spent enjoying the yard instead of tidying it. Dining outdoors transforms when the setting is thoughtfully composed. Picture a table set informally with hand-thrown pottery, mismatched linen napkins, and a centerpiece of freshly picked wildflowers, and a scattering of late summer berries. Start meals with an herb pot within reach, basil, thyme, and chives, so guests can tear and add sprigs as they please. Serve dishes family style. A hot pot passed around, crusty bread torn by hand, a pitcher of iced tea steeped with lemon and mint. The result is not just a meal but a practice, collaboration, conversation, and an appreciation for seasonal flavors. The benefit extends beyond the taste. Outdoor dining strengthens relationships, slows time, and turns routine supper into a ritual you look forward to. Paths and sightlines choreograph movement and discovery. Let narrow walks curve so they reveal rather than expose, placing a bench at the bend for a private pause. Install a simple arbor draped with climbing roses or clematis to mark transitions between sections. A kitchen garden here, a play nook there, so each area feels like a room in an outdoor house. Repeat materials and motifs, such as horizontal slats or chipped white paint, to tie these rooms together and create visual continuity. This choreography encourages exploration while maintaining cohesion. Each turn yields a little delight, whether a bird bath tucked behind lavender or a small gate opening onto a hidden potting area. Seasonal thinking keeps the cottage garden engaging year-round. In spring, rejoice in the burst of bulbs and early perennials. Hang swags of bunting for a light, celebratory air. Through summer, fill pots with sun-loving herbs and zinnias, and use parasols or grapevine pergolas to create cool, dappled shade. When autumn arrives, swap out light linens for heavier plaids, add wicker baskets of apples and squashes to tables, and let rust-toned metal and brown wood take center stage under golden light. Winter's quieter palette invites evergreen swags, lanterns with warm LED candles, and wool blankets draped over benches so even the bareness reads as intentional and comforting. Designing with the year in mind means your yard always has personality and promise, whatever the month.